Hello everyone, it is M4J here, and today we are hopefully making history. Welcome back to my Steamish career here on Football Manager 2018. We have got a historical final that we're about to play in. It's our first ever Checker Trade Trophy final. And not just Checker Trade, it's our first ever Football League Trophy, I think it's called, final. Which is very, very nice, considering the last couple of seasons we've been knocked out at, I think it was the fourth round, the semi-final, no, fourth round, quarter-final, and quarter-final again, I think, is where we got to. This time around, we've made the final. We're also in a very healthy league position. More on that in just a second. We're going to play 2 matches today. Hopefully you guys enjoyed what I did in the last episode, which of course was the semi-final. Now, I haven't actually edited that video at the time of recording this one, so it could be the biggest pile of crap you've ever seen. It could be the best video you've ever seen. I don't know. We'll find out, won't we? Whether I can do a good job on it or not. Hopefully, fingers crossed, I can. Like I say, you never know. So, we are playing in the Checker Trade Trophy final. The match plans, off camera at least, have been working very nicely. I'm hoping they can do the biz today as well. Now, between episodes, I didn't mention this last episode, and I'll do my best to remember to not mention it in the post audio. But I had a bit of a slip in the league, in that we were 1 place above relegation, and the board asked to have a meeting with me, and then I agreed to get 11 points from 5 matches, lost the first game, drew the first game, and then won the other 4. And then went on something like a 12-match unbeaten run and climbed right up into the playoff places. Now I sit in 3rd. Actually, technically dropped down to 4th at the moment, but we play Cardiff, who are 2nd next game, so we could go back up to 3rd again. This is the team that did it, essentially. You'll notice a new face, although you saw him in the last episode, of course. Fabian Delph, signed on a free transfer. He was a free agent, can you believe? I can't believe no one else picked him up. He's actually been relatively injury-free, which is not very much like Fabian Delph at all. We've also switched to a 2 up front, so Felivi alongside Feruz. We've then got Hancock and Godden as the substitute strikers on the bench. Bjordal is also sort of periodically jumping in and out of the team. At the moment it's Barmby, although I've tried to negotiate a new contract with him and he's rejected terms. Over £300 a week. I wanted to pay him £1,000 a week. He wanted £1,300. I took out all the appearance bonuses and stuff like that. Played hardball, did non-negotiable, and he rejected. So he could be leaving at the end of the season. I'll do my best to keep hold of him. Problem is, of course, he's currently 2.5 star. If we do get promoted to the Championship, there's no way in hell he'll be good enough. So it might not be a bad thing. Might be nice to keep him around as a squad player, but I think in the Championship we could do better. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into what should hopefully be a historic game. We're playing Crew. I've just seen in the pre-match build-up that they've got Lyle Taylor playing in their team, who, if you watch my FIFA series, which I'm no longer doing, but if you had watched my FIFA series, you'll know that Lyle Taylor is the best player to have ever virtually pulled on a Stevenage shirt. In other words, I signed him on FIFA, and he is a goal machine, scoring 30-something goals a season. There's 26,000 people at Wembley today, and we are hopefully going to win. Let's see what happens. Let's first of all see that the match plans take effect. They should do, because I double checked before I started recording that they were set up. I need to check what this is set to. Yep, thought so. Let's do key highlights for this, because as I say, we're playing 2 matches today. I'd like to play the Cardiff match in this episode as well, because it's quite an important episode. We're getting to the business end of the season now. There's 5 games to go for me. There's a few more games to go for Cardiff, because they've got 2 games in hand over us. Looks like the match plans are working, which is good news. So yeah, business end of the season. If we win our games, all of our games, we have a very, very good chance of getting into the playoffs. Well, sorry, if we win all of our games, we will be in the playoffs. If we win all our games as well, we will also have a chance of automatic promotion. That's what I meant to say. Which would be fantastic, considering I was 1 game away from losing my job at one point, and now we're right up with all the big boys. That's a beautiful finish from Barmby. I need to get back on onto contract talks with him and his agent. I think that was an exceptional finish from him. That's his 10th goal of the season. What a way to score. Really good team build-up play there. Felivi, who's been absolutely incredible. Silva laid it off. Barmby shot, wrong foot in the keeper. My dream team, you might have seen at the start of the episode, I've actually agreed to sign Stefan Payne from Shrewsbury. In real life, he's an absolute beast. In game, perhaps not as much, but he is still, according to my scouts at least, which I always take like a star off the rating from the scouts just to play it safe. But they've said he's going to be my best striker when he joins. Now, of course, if we do get promoted, there's the whole thing of, once again, is he still going to be the best? But at this moment in time, it's a pretty good deal. £500,000, which I believe is the transfer record for Stevenage, or it will be the new transfer record. Most of it's in instalments and add-ons and bonuses and things like that. Fingers crossed it doesn't bankrupt the club. We are heavily in debt at the moment, so a promotion will most definitely do us good. But the dream striker lineup for me is going to be Payne, Felivi, and Menezes, who I'm going to try and sign on loan. If we're in the Championship, I reckon we've got a very good chance of getting him. Why is my... This is my complaint about match plan. So we're half an hour in, not even that, and he's subbed off Feruz and he's brought on Hancock. I mean, it's great that Hancock gets to play at Wembley, but why? Why couldn't Feruz just stay up front? I don't really understand that. Don't really understand that. Plus the fact, you know, you can play up front and there was no formation change or anything, so it just doesn't make sense. I won't complain too much. But yeah, Payne, Felivi and Menezes. I think that would be an incredibly good attacking lineup. And if we have Feruz on the bench as well, plus Hancock, Godden, his contract's up at the end of the season and I'm tempted not to renew it. There's a couple of players on the bench. I don't think there's any in the starting 11, but there are a couple on the bench who their contracts are expiring at the end of the season, and I'm very tempted to not renew or run it down a little bit more and see if they'll accept lower wages. Because at this point it is about saving money as well. There's loads of players that I sold off camera. Jack King has gone. Whitmore gone. Tony gone. These are all for money as well. Stylianiadis, I can't remember how you say his name now. He's gone. The majority of them, King hasn't got this, and I don't think... Actually, I think Whitmore has. Whitmore has 20% of the profit from his next sale goes to us. But Tony and guy whose name I can't pronounce, they've both got 20% of next transfer fee goes to us. And in fact, we sold Tony to Shrewsbury, which is what made me think, oh, I might sign Stefan Payne. It's unfortunate that I couldn't include... Oh, it's a bad goal to concede. It's unfortunate I couldn't include Payne as part of the deal, because that would have actually been quite nice. But, you know, we got some money for Tony. They're going to get some of that money back for Payne. So, you know, it could be worse. Could be worse. I think we've done very well. I'm very pleased with the transfers that we did make. Oh, we made another sub there. Oh, yes, Noel. I think it's pronounced Noel, or Noyle. Might be Noyle, actually. Carl Noyle. Signed him on loan from Fulham. He can play left back, right back, and centre back. And he's been an incredibly good player to bring in for substitute purposes mostly. He started a couple of games as well, because Jones has actually been on international duty with Australia a fair amount this season. Which is also good. You know, we have an international. An actual bona fide international, which is always something to be proud of when you're in League One. But yeah, Noyle's come in and done a pretty good job in that midfield. I'm looking at Delph. Oh, Hancock! In that right back role. So I'm really happy with that. I'm really happy with all the signings that we actually made in January. January was a very, very good month, I think, for us in terms of incomings and outgoings. I'll show you that in just a second as well. After this game's finished, before I make the cut into next match, I will show you the schedule so you can see all our fixtures, and I will also show you the transfers so you can see what happened. I've just noticed the match plan. We took off the Silva and we brought on Longstaff. That's a good substitution. We haven't quite changed the system yet. I don't think we will now because of that sub. In fact, I'm not quite sure what that sub was all about, but we are still drawing. I think it will change again in the 85th minute as we go all out to try and score. I mean, we'll find out in a second, won't we? Something changed. But it said making tactical changes and then nothing changed. Oh dear. Looks like we are going to extra time then, unless something amazing happens in the next 3 minutes. which could happen. Stranger things have happened. Doesn't look like it will happen. Okay, straight to penalties. Terrific. We've got no penalty takers in the squad. Oh dear. Okay. Felivi's only got a 9 for penalties. That's not good. Alright. We'll see what happens. Hancock stepping up first. I mean, we have got a goalkeeper that's good at saving penalties, I suppose. Oh, that's a pretty damn good penalty, actually, from Hancock. Right in the top corner. Right, now Taylor. Oh, dear. I've never wanted Taylor to miss a penalty before until now. Here he comes. Up against Fryer. Oh, he went the right way, but it was just out of his reach. I actually don't like going first in penalties. Apparently, the reason the ABBA system was brought in was statistically the team that went first would win. But I kind of like going second. Well, there you go. White has had his penalty saved by Fryer. I mean, the ABBA system now, it doesn't matter whether you go first or second, because it's supposed to be statistically evens. And I don't mind going first in the ABBA. Yes, Samuel. 2-1 up. Good boy. Right, now for Levy. This will put us 3-1 up. Of course, it does get confusing, because technically we're not 3-1 up. We're still 2-1 up, because they've got a penalty in hand. Yeah, we're 3-1 up. And now they've got a penalty, which they have to really score. If they miss this one and the next one, then we win. Essentially. So here's Gladwin. Oh, he walked it in. And Fryer just walked past it for some reason. Okay, now Pierce. He has to score this one. Doesn't lose if he doesn't score it, but... Alright, he scored it anyway. Now we're up next. And if we score... No, we don't win if we score. But it'd be nice if we scored. Yes. Right, now if we score this one, we win the shootout. Because they can't catch us. Because we'd have scored all 5. So here we go. Who's taking it? Who is the man who could potentially be our hero today? It is... I can't see his name. Delph. Ah! Why not bring in a Premier League winner to take the penalty for us? You know, worst players are on the pitch. No offence to those players. Right, here we go. Delph. Yes! Get in. Come on, Boro. I think that's my first trophy is... Oh no, I won League 2. What am I talking about? Duh. So long ago now. There you go. Champions. The red and white ribbons flying everywhere. Making an absolute mess of that pitch. Spurs have got to play on it tomorrow. Brandon Mason was our man of the match. Was that Kyaku? Was their man of the match. Our worst player was Hancock, who scored the first penalty. So he had 0% of his shots on target. I think that's a little unfair to give him the worst player for that. He did hit the post after all. He did hit the post. You know, worse things have happened. There we go. We have won. Now, very quickly, because I know what this game's like, I'm going to save it, and then I'm going to show you the schedule. And you're going to see lots of green. You're going to see lots of red, actually, first of all, and then I'll scroll down and you'll see lots of green. I'm trying to remember which match it was. In fact, I could probably work it out, because it's where all the reds suddenly changed to green. And, I mean, that's horrible to get that message saying you've got 5 matches to save your job. And I asked them to reduce the number of points required, and they said, no, 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 you know, 11 points from 5 matches is more than doable. And I panicked and changed the formation, and it worked. So there you go. Played it since. So here's where it all went wrong. As you know, we had a pretty bad start, and then I think it was around here I came back and made an episode. It might have been this one actually, and went, oh look, we're doing actually quite well again. Then we beat Coventry 6-2. In fact, I think that one was on camera, wasn't it? And then we had all these draws, and then it started to go wrong. So we lost 2-0 here. We beat Palace in the Checker Trade. Then we lost, drew. We lost 7-4 against Bradford. This one was... Oh, it's an awful match. Really bad match. In fact, this might have been... That might have been the one where they came to me first of all with a meeting and said, can you explain that result? And I think at the time I said it was due to injuries, because we had some players out, I believe. But who started? Yeah, we had Rooney starting. And we had Hancock. Well, that must have been when Hancock was up front. We had Hyam starting. And Baptiste was starting. I think Jones was on international duty, though. He wasn't injured. But yeah, it was an awful game. I mean, I would have sacked me for that result, quite honestly. But they allowed me to explain myself, and they said hopefully the next meeting will be more productive, or whatever it is they say. Then we lost 4-1 to Swindon in the Cup. Then we actually lost our last group game against Leyton Orient because I was a smart arse and played some reserve players. I mean some, I say. Maybe not any. Maybe it wasn't that one. Well, I'm sure I played the reserves at some point this season. Then we lost 1-0 here. And then we had we lost 1-0 here. Then we had a friendly, which we won. That was the other thing I did, was try and get more confidence in the squad as I arranged some friendlies. And in fact, here's the turning points. We had a 2-2 draw, which was okay. It was against Rotherham, who were going for the title at the time. Then we lost 6-1 to Cardiff, who were about to play again. And this is where they said, you've got to get 11 points from your next 5 games. We had a 1-1 draw against Gillingham, in which we took the lead. No, they took the lead. We equalised. I'm so sorry. It's been ages, actually, since I last played the game. It's been a couple of weeks. Which is why I'm struggling to remember. We then had a defeat against Chelsea, which was a friendly, and Hazard scored, so I'm not too upset by that either. And this was the turnaround. So we had the draw. Then we beat FC... Oh, God. Admira Wacker Modling. We beat them 2-0, both goals from Rooney. Then we played Ipswich in the checker trade, and we won 2-1. Both goals coming from Tony. Rooney missed a penalty. Then we had another friendly against Basingstoke, which we won 5-2. Then we had this league match here, which we won 3-0 against Northampton. Now, this was the real turning point. 2 goals from Feruz. This is when I was playing 2 up front as well. And a goal from Segura, who then got himself sent off. Which is a little bit annoying, because you get a run of form going and then one of your players gets suspended. 4-0 win against Brackley. And then the rest of the 5 matches were the 2-0 win against Charlton, the 2-1 win against Fleetwood, and the 3-0 win against Oxford. This was just when the window opened as well. So I actually had some players leave on the 1st, because I think I made the deals before the 1st. But anyway, goals from Segura, Samuel, and Feruz. Where are we up to here? We had a 4-0 win against Colchester, which I was really happy with. Samuel missed a penalty again, but then he did score. So did Felivi, Barmby, and Feruz. We had 2-1 win against Cardiff. Then we drew with Sheffield United. We beat Southend. We drew with Shrewsbury. We beat Orient in the checker trade. We beat Coventry, Crewe, Walsall, and MK Dons. We then played Watford, which you saw last episode. And then, apart from a 1-1 draw against Blackpool, we have bossed it. Won every game. The highlight for me, I mean, the Ipswich game, playing Ipswich is always entertaining for some reason in this series. But this was a very good game because Hancock scored twice. It's always nice when Hancock scores because he's my little protege at the moment. He's the one I want to make an absolute gem of a player. Felivi scoring and Feruz scoring. So all 3 strikers scored in that game, which I was really, really happy with. And of course, you've just seen the Crewe game. Transfers. Did not want to click on that. That's what I wanted to click on. So here you go. The outs are, we sold Stylianides to Chesterfield for 21,500, rising to 27,500 with the sell-on. We then sold Houghton, also to Chesterfield, for, let's say, 11,000. I'm sitting a ways away from my screen. I think that says 11,000, rising to 14,250. Again, that also has a sell-on added. Jack King we sold to Crawley for a bit of a good price, actually, considering I think he's 36 now in game. Sold him for 7,750, rising to 9,750. We sold Whitmore to Bury for 7,500, rising to 9,750. We sold Tony to Shrewsbury for 57,000, and then we loaned out some players as well. Afuso's been loaned out twice because he actually got injured whilst he was at Maidenhead, out for 5 to 6 weeks, so I recalled him. He then recovered, and I loaned him out to Kidderminster. In terms of incomings during January, I think the highlights were Delph. In fact, we only signed 2 players, Delph and Noyle. So, quite happy with that. I think I did some good deals. I didn't balance the books. I was never going to balance the books unless I sold someone for £1,000,000, which I was never going to be able to do because we were playing terribly at the time. So none of my players were even worth £1,000,000. I don't even think the entire squad was worth £1,000,000 at that point. But yeah, just did some shrewd business, which I haven't done for a while actually. I was quite pleased with it, and we really sort of narrowed down the squad a bit more, made players actually realise that they're not necessarily safe just because they're being picked week in, week out. You know, the vice captain and past captain King was sold. Tony was actually playing quite well at the time I sold him. The reason I played him in the team for him to score those goals was because I was looking to raise his value to sell him. And you know, 57,000 for him plus a sell-on, I think is a pretty good deal. I would have liked to have got more for him. I think he was worth 75,000. But because when you put the sell-on, players and clubs are a bit more reluctant to bid or leave. It's always a bit tricky. So I tend to lower the asking price a bit, and then I put the 20% sell-on, and you tend to get your money back. Doesn't always happen because sometimes players get released, and you know, you don't get anything for a release. But yeah, I'm going to put a cut here. We're going to come back in just a second for the Cardiff game. So hopefully you guys enjoyed that transfer business. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the match that you just saw as well. And I will see you again in just a second. Okay guys, we are back. Before we get into this game, a little bit of transfer news. Got another player joining us, Ben Marshall. For £21,000 he'll be joining us from Wolves. Providing his stats remain constant, I mean look at all the green there, he could be a very, very nice signing for us indeed. He's mainly been brought in as a backup right back, to be honest, and he can play the role pretty nicely from what I can see, which is always nice to see. Yeah, he's got good, not so much concentration, but anticipation 12, acceleration, I mean he's getting on a bit, he's in his 30s now. Tackling's good, marking, again not great. He's a backup, that's what I've got to remember, he's a backup. We are playing Cardiff though, who have since climbed to first in the table. I actually saw a list of all the run-in fixtures between now and the end of the season. Sorry, I just bashed the mic there. We're playing Cardiff now, and I think we've got Swindon next game. All the teams above us, of which there are 3, we are 5 points behind third. We're 10 points off second and first. So I think we've got 5 games to go, so we can still win by 5 points if we win all our games and the teams above us lose. Realistically though, I think second is probably out of our reach. I think third place is as high as we can get. But all the teams above us are also playing very similar ranked teams that we are. So we're playing first now, then we've got 8th, and then I think we've got like 11th, 15th, something like that. And the 3 teams above us have got very, very similar fixtures. So it's going to be a bit tight. It's all about who slips up. I mean, if we slip up, we're 3 points ahead of Luton. In fact, you can see here we're 4 points behind Ipswich now, and we're 10 points behind Cardiff. Only 9 points behind Fleetwood, so maybe it's possible. You know, 3 wins, and we could go above them. Well, again, I think I got my maths wrong there. No, we are 10 points behind Fleetwood, really, because if we lose this game, we go back down to 75, and they're on 85. So yeah, we have to win basically all of our games to stand any chance of going above them, and hope that they slip up. Of course, it's difficult, as I was about to say, because we are playing Cardiff, who are top of the table, and they're top for a reason. They've been very, very good this season. Our goal difference took a massive hit during the nearly getting sacked reign. We've scored a lot of goals since, and our goal difference is only plus 24 at kick-off. Now it's plus 23. Cardiff's is nearly double ours. In fact, it is double ours. So we've got our work cut out in this game. The idea really is to not lose by too many. Hopefully, you know, we could snatch a win. We've done it before. There's no reason why we can't do it again. Not with passes like that from Barnby, though. That was a bit dumb. I think I've got take risk switched on when we're losing. So, I mean, he took a risk. To be honest, it was a stupid risk. I think it's about knowing when to take the risk and when not to, and there's no setting in the tactics for that. I think it's probably a bit too advanced. It's almost like advanced AI level calculations going on there. So I can understand that. Furu's on the ball anyway. Finds De Silva. Tried to chip the keeper, I think, who is Adrian, by the way. There are some good quality players playing in this league, which is what makes it even more staggering that we managed to turn around our fortunes the way we did, because we were so out of it at one point, almost like we are in this match. Oof. Yeah, we were literally. Can I scroll on here? I cannot. We were literally here, where Plymouth are now. We were 1 point above relegation. We were 1 place above relegation. And I think our goal difference was -12 or something ridiculous. I should have taken a screenshot of it, to be honest. And I genuinely thought that's the end of the series. I couldn't see a way out of it. I changed the formation and I changed some of the match plan scenarios. Really, I was just pushing buttons, hoping anything would work. And miraculously, it did. We were so fortunate. So fortunate. Actually, during that winning 4 out of 5 games, I actually won Manager of the Month that month as well, which was quite incredible. I'm certainly proud of it. You know, I didn't see that happening. This game's a bit of a hit and miss scenario at the moment. We are 2-0 down. The team has changed to the 4-3-3 that I've set up. For some reason, we're kicking it long to the shortest of the 3 strikers. That's a good ball from Barmby if Faduz can get onto it. He does. Back post. Oh, Falevi. Did he hit the post there? I think he did. Jones on it now, though. Into Barmby. Oh, he's put it wide. How? You're better than that, Jack. For some reason, Barmby can play as a centre midfielder, according to the match plan. Make of that what you will. I did manage to scroll that. There we go. It's because I don't like this, because it still activates everything underneath it. You'll always see when I click here, I actually close the window down for the team stats, which is why I then have to open it up again. And here, I'm not actually on this league table, I'm on the one behind it, on the pitch view. Really frustrating. Oh, well, there we go. The match plan will no longer work because we've got the injury. So I'm going to put Kenlock like that. I'm going to switch back to... Actually, I'm probably just going to leave it. Leave it as is for the time being. At half time, I'll switch it back. I assume that's the end of the match plan, because in the past when I've made a substitution because of an injury, it's no longer updated the match plans afterwards. So we'll see. You never know. Samuel with a good takedown. That's a great ball over the top for Faduz to run onto. Falevi's making space in the middle. It's cut back. Oh, it's past both of them. Jones plays it back in. Falevi shot blocked. Don't let him clear it. Okay. Recycle. Okay. Win it back. Okay. Not doing anything at the moment. I'm certainly not doing it well. Oh no, he's in for a hat-trick. He's in for a hat-trick. Good boy, Fryer. Good save. Stop them from scoring now. That's the main thing. Get out of this game alive. Ipswich do have 2 games in hand over us as well, actually. So maybe 4th is all we can hope for. Yeah, it's going to be tight. It's going to be tight. I think after this game, I will come back on the last game of the season. Really just do an update as to where we are. And then if we end up in the playoffs, then we'll do the 2 playoff semi-finals, and then we'll do the final in a separate episode. But yeah, this is not going well. And Faduz has picked up an injury now as well, which is more than ideal. Alright. We're going to go to tactics, and I'm going to change it here to this. Samuel's going to go back out on the right. Barmby there. Falevi up front. And we're going to play Hancock as the second striker. And at this point, it's basically damage limitations. Just play out the rest of the game. I don't think the match plans will take over now, so it's all about just keeping things ticking over. Not doing anything too stupid and ridiculous. Have we got this set up? We haven't. Roam, run, expressive, overload, take more risks, that, and that. I think that's everything. They nearly scored in the background through all that. As I say, it's about damage limitations now. Damage limitations now. Yeah, makes perfect sense. It's about damage limitations now, stopping them from scoring more goals. They got a very good squad, Cardiff. I think they got relegated last season, so they've still got a lot of their Championship players playing in League One. Whereas we've got a lot of League Two players playing in League One. And this guy, I'm going to guess his name is pronounced Gyurkiris. It's got the 2 dots above the O, which I always forget how to pronounce. Is it umlaut? 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 Something like that. Right after a Y, which just makes life a living hell for someone who can't pronounce names like me. Right, Delph, that's a really nice ball. Barnby scores, it's offside. Yep, you can tell by the crowd noise. If it's slightly off key like that, it's offside. That's really annoying, because he's in acres of space. It just took an age to get the ball to him. Delph should have passed it directly to him. And then he did the 1-2 with Hancock. Wasn't far off, to be fair. And Hancock's doing his role of the second striker quite well, I think. Now, playing those little 1-2s with midfield, that's exactly what a second striker is supposed to do. Link up the play between midfield and attack. Right, he's really on for a hat-trick. He really wants one too, by the looks of things. I think putting an extra man in midfield is going to help us out as well, because they were dominating quite a lot in that midfield area. De Silva finds Hancock over the top to Samuel. Good run from him, crosses it in, back post, get in. Barnby. We're starting to come back into it. We could end up winning this game still. Oh, that'd be lovely if we could turn this around. What a confidence boost that would be. And what a damaging blow that would be for Cardiff. That could be the difference, you know. It's that good old combination as well. Samuel crossing to the back post, Barnby running in, finishing it nicely. Basically a tap-in from where he was. Awesome. We need to keep hold of Barnby. Even if he's just a reserve player next season. I really feel like we need to keep hold of him. I am starting scouting for next season. So as you know, Payne was brought in as the striker. Marshall was brought in as the right back backup option. Because I'd like to think Jones would still be first choice. I would like another attacking left midfielder. And maybe another attacking right midfielder. Depends how Samuel adapts. Oof, that was close. But yeah, I think Barnby will be backup choice next season. I think we need to bring someone else in to play as the main choice left winger. Depends who's available, of course. Right, De Silva is... I was about to say struggling, but he's playing the same as Delph. I don't really want to make a sub for the sake of making a sub. I want to do one because it's needed. I'm also sitting back and waiting until the 75th minute just to see if the match plans do kick in again. I think they already would have, though, to be honest. I think they already would have. Oh, Samuel. Needed to be on target. Let's just wait. If it doesn't kick in the 75th, then I'll make the sub myself. I'm pretty happy with the system, though. The players seem to have switched back to it quite nicely. Alright, Sparks with the ball forward. Segura with the header away. Kenlock with the ball over the top. Felivi heads down. Hancock just missed out on it. Pilkington taking his time over that, actually. Can we close down the keeper? Well, we have. Samuel on it. Plays it inside to Delph. Flicks it over to Hancock. Oh, how's he put that wide? We've had so many chances in this second half. Okay, no movement from the match plan. Therefore, I'm going to bring Longstaff on and I'm going to take off De Silva. Can you play as a deep line playmaker? Yes, you can. Can you play as a box-to-box? Yes, you can. Okie dokie. We'll keep them as they are then. Otherwise, I'd switch Longstaff over. We'll do it like this. We'll do it like this. I'm going to encourage them as well. They've actually done really well this second half. I'm very, very happy with it. Because we've turned the stats round as well to the fact that we're now dominating the game. Just need to get more shots on target. How many clear-cut chances have we had? 3. They've had 4. So they're still dominating in that respect. Now Bellick to Kenlock. Plays it safe inside to Longstaff. What is Longstaff doing there? Don't give it away in those positions. Oh dear, Seguro with the missed challenge. Did win it back though. I think it was Jones there with a great tackle. Barnby to Felivi. Plays it over to Samuel. Can he get away from his man? He can. He crosses it in. Felivi with the header and it's over. For crying out loud. That was probably the chance. That was the chance. 3 minutes added on. I mean, I can't be disappointed, really. I mean, look at the chances we've had. We've had 6 shots on target and only scored once. That's the disappointment. The fact that it is Cardiff, they are dominating the league. They really, really overwhelmed us in the first half. I give credit to the players. We changed the system just a little bit. Came out for the second half. And we actually gave them a decent game of football in the end. It's just a shame that we couldn't convert more of those chances. Anyway, we're still 4th, so, you know, it's not game over. And our last matches, that was our first defeat in... how long? Oh, no. Our last loss was a friend... oh, dear. Okay. Well, that's happened. So we got Swindon at home, who are 8th. And then we got Gillingham away, who are 18th. Then we got Lincoln at home, who are 22nd. And then we finish with Northampton away. So I'm going to come back for the Northampton game. And then, hopefully, the playoffs. But yeah, that's a little bit disappointing. Mason's injured. Oh, 5 to 7 weeks. 5 to 7 weeks. He's actually doing really, really well in the second half of the season as well. I was really, really impressed with him. Okay, that's fine. We've got De Silva who can play left back, and we've got Delph who can play left back. We've also got Kenlock, of course, who can play left back. So we've got plenty of cover. We'll be fine. We'll do okay. But yeah, that is the end of the episode, guys. I'm going to do some more scouting off camera. We might have a couple more players confirmed before next episode, so bear with me on that. But until then, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and of course if you're enjoying the series, drop some comments down below with ideas for tactics, signings and transfers, and staff additions, of course. I mean, signings and transfers is technically the same thing, but there you go. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you guys for your continued support, and until next time, I will see you soon.